Astro Bot on PS5 is a pure celebration of tight platforming, charming characters, and clever DualSense integration that constantly keeps you smiling as you move from level to level. The game throws you into compact, highly polished stages packed with secrets, playful references to PlayStation history, and constantly changing mechanics that never overstay their welcome. Each world feels like a themed playground, with smooth controls that make jumping, gliding, and using unique suits instantly satisfying. The haptic feedback and adaptive triggers add a physical layer to every action, from pulling ropes to bouncing on springs, making the console itself feel part of the experience. It is the kind of game you can enjoy casually, yet still feel driven to 100% complete because each collectible and challenge is thoughtfully placed and genuinely fun to chase. Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5 delivers a deep, reactive RPG experience where every choice can reshape your story, your companions, and even entire regions of the world. You build your character from a wide range of classes and races, then dive into turn-based combat that rewards positioning, creative spell use, and environmental interactions, like shoving enemies off ledges or setting surfaces on fire. Conversations feel alive, with skill checks and background traits constantly altering dialogue paths and outcomes, making role-playing feel meaningful rather than cosmetic. Companions come with rich personal quests and strong personalities that can clash with your decisions, leading to branching relationships that can grow into loyalty, rivalry, or romance. The sheer amount of handcrafted content, secrets, and alternate paths makes every playthrough feel unique, and playing on a couch with a controller feels surprisingly natural for such a complex RPG.
Elden Ring on PS5 brings an enormous open world that mixes brutal combat, quiet exploration, and cryptic storytelling into one demanding but incredibly rewarding adventure. You begin as a fragile Tarnished and slowly grow stronger by mastering dodge timings, learning enemy patterns, and refining your build through weapons, spells, and ashes of war. The lands between are packed with hidden caves, towering legacy dungeons, and optional bosses that can completely change your understanding of the world if you decide to explore off the main path. Every victory over a tough foe feels earned rather than handed to you, thanks to responsive controls and readable animations that reward patience and observation. Atmospheric sound design, haunting music, and a striking art direction give each region its own mood, turning simple rides on your spectral steed into memorable journeys that often end with a surprise encounter or secret discovery. God of War Ragnarök on PS5 continues the journey of Kratos and Atreus with a cinematic narrative wrapped around heavy, satisfying combat and smart puzzle design. The Leviathan Axe and Blades of Chaos both feel weighty and precise, allowing you to string together elemental effects, runic attacks, and shield skills to control the battlefield. Fights against enemies and bosses feel like brutal chess matches where positioning, timing, and resource management matter as much as raw aggression. Between combat arenas, you explore semi-open hubs filled with environmental puzzles, lore objects, and meaningful side quests that expand on the themes of fate, responsibility, and family. The story flows seamlessly with hardly any visible cuts, supported by excellent performances and a constantly evolving dynamic between the two leads that grounds the grand mythological stakes in something intimate and human. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PS5 transforms the Midgarscape into a sprawling adventure that lets you explore wide, varied regions full of side quests, minigames, and secrets, while pushing the Remake storyline in bold new directions. Combat blends real-time action with tactical command pauses, letting you swap between party members, stack abilities, and time limit breaks for big cinematic payoffs. Each character feels distinct, from Cloud's agile swordplay to Tifa's combo-heavy strikes and Aerith's ranged support, encouraging experimentation with team setups and materia builds. The world design invites wandering, with optional bosses, mini-stories, and rewards tucked into corners that make detours feel worthwhile, rather than like filler. Emotional cutscenes, a remix soundtrack that alternates between nostalgia and fresh energy, and impressive visual detail all combine to give classic moments new impact, while building anticipation for where the reimagined narrative will head next. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 on PS5 gives you the thrill of controlling both Peter Parker and Miles Morales as they swing through a larger, denser New York City with almost no loading and incredibly smooth performance. Web swinging remains the core joy, enhanced by web wings that let you glide across boroughs and chain traversal options to keep momentum high.
Combat builds on the earlier games, with new abilities tied to symbiote powers and bioelectric skills, letting you mix aerial juggles, crowd control, and stealth takedowns in fluid encounters. The story leans into the personal costs of being a hero, exploring relationships, responsibility, and the darker sides of power through strong performances and cinematic set pieces. Side missions and collectibles feel more curated and character-driven, adding depth to the city and its residents, instead of just padding the map with repetitive tasks. Horizon Forbidden West on PS5 expands Alloy's world with lush environments, more complex machines, and deeper exploration systems that reward curiosity and preparation. Combat asks you to study enemy weak points, swap between specialized ammo types, and lay traps, turning each machine encounter into a tactical puzzle rather than simple shooting. The climbing and gliding mechanics open up verticality, while underwater sections and dense settlements make the world feel varied and alive. The narrative digs further into the sci-fi mystery behind the old world and the AI system shaping the future, while still keeping Alloy's personal journey at the center. Visual detail, from weather effects to machine animations, combined with a strong soundtrack and DualSense support, creates a rich atmosphere that makes every hunt, quest, and quiet moment in the wilds feel immersive. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on PS5 delivers a fast-paced, colorful action platformer that uses instant dimension hopping to keep gameplay constantly surprising and visually impressive. You jump between worlds and even rifts within levels with almost no loading, creating seamless transitions during both exploration and combat that feel uniquely tailored to the hardware. The arsenal of weapons is wildly creative, encouraging you to experiment with tools that freeze enemies, launch miniature black holes, or transform foes in entertaining ways. As you level up gear and unlock mods, each weapon evolves in both function and spectacle, making repeat encounters feel fresh. The story balances lighthearted humor with heartfelt character beats, introducing Rivet and other variants that expand the universe while maintaining the energetic tone that has defined the series for years. Resident Evil 4 Remake on PS5 reimagines a classic survival horror shooter with modern controls, richer environments, and tighter pacing, while preserving the tense, over-the-shoulder action that defined the original. Playing as Leon, you move through eerie villages, gothic castles, and grim facilities where resource management always matters, forcing careful decisions about when to fight, when to flee, and what to upgrade. Gunplay feels punchy and responsive, with precise aiming, strategic limb shots, and a satisfying knife system that adds risk and reward to close-quarters encounters. Atmosphere is heightened by moody lighting, unsettling sound design, and more grounded character interactions that make familiar scenes feel new without losing their iconic moments. Optional treasures, side requests, and multiple difficulty settings encourage repeat runs for players who want to test skills or perfect their routes. Street Fighter VI on PS5 revitalizes the fighting genre with a strong mix of accessibility features, deep mechanics, and vibrant presentation that welcomes newcomers while giving veterans plenty to master. The drive system ties together offensive and defensive options, letting you control momentum with parries, rushes, and powered-up moves, but punishing careless use with burnout that leaves you vulnerable. Each character has a distinct style and personality, supported by excellent animations and sound that make every hit feel impactful and readable, even at high speed. The game includes multiple control schemes, including a modern layout for easier execution, so players can focus more on spacing, timing, and mind games rather than just difficult inputs. Online play, training tools, and extra modes, like the hub-based social spaces and story-focused content, combine to create a complete package that supports both casual matches and serious competitive grinding.